If you've been waiting to make your next career move, wait no more. For the first time in at least a generation, the legal job market is tipped in favor of lawyers. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to capitalize on this rare opportunity. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Annie Little. I'm an ICF certified career coach and former lawyer. I created this channel for lawyers who are looking for a practical process for finding and landing their ideal job. The pandemic was rough on lawyers in so many ways, but law firms found a bit of a bright spot in the form of record-setting profits. Now, those profits are probably the result of hiring freezes in 2020 and increased productivity among lawyers who were working remotely. And surprise, surprise, employer self-imposed hiring moratoriums led to overwhelming workloads and extreme lawyer burnout. And understandably, many of those lawyers are leaving those same employers as they're being asked to return to the office full-time and or maintain their astronomical workloads. And normally, I would tell lawyers to avoid these employers. But these are not normal times. So working remotely during the pandemic demonstrated that lawyers can be eminently productive when working remotely. And it showed lawyers how much time they were spending on commutes and office distractions, which were detracting from their personal time. So as the Great Resignation ripples throughout the legal sector, employers are scrambling to find lawyers who can handle their massive workloads, which means they are willing to pay a premium for talent. Finally, and you are now going to insist that they pay that premium. So first of all, I need you to reframe your mindset to one that recognizes that they are lucky to have you. And you've probably felt wildly fortunate when you've received a job offer in the past. And of course, gratitude is certainly in order there, but there tends to be this little hint of a sense of unworthiness when it comes to accepting certain types of employment. And I've seen that prevent people from negotiating for the best possible compensation package. And when I'm referring to compensation, I'm talking about money and other kinds of benefits. While I believe that legal employers are always lucky to have found their legal talent, right now, I really want everyone to lean into this understanding that lawyers are doing a huge favor for legal employers right now. So before you apply for your next job, I want you to reframe your approach. In particular, you are not begging for a job. You are not desperate for a job. You are not willing to do anything to work in a systemically broken system. Instead, you are offering your services to an employer if that position fits your values, priorities, and skill set. Know this, employees are desperate to hire you. If they extend you an offer, it's because they want you desperately. Next, you're going to negotiate for what you want. Now that we're clear on where the bargaining power lies, it's time for you to decide what type of employment arrangement you want. So of course, traditional compensation elements are certainly in play. Things like base salary, bonus opportunities, 401k matching, health insurance, vacation time, the work. Oh, and don't forget signing bonuses, especially right now. So while those traditional compensation elements are always in play, now employers are willing to entertain alternative work arrangements, in particular, working from home. And thanks to the wealth of data that's been generated during the pandemic, which shows how productive lawyers are when they work remotely, seems to suggest that they're actually more productive than when they're in the office, we lawyers finally have the leverage to negotiate for these remote work options. Now, those old excuses as to why remote work wasn't an option no longer hold water. And you know the greatest hits. Lawyers aren't as productive from home. The law firm just doesn't have the right technology to make it work. And my all-time favorite, lawyers need to be in the office where we foster an environment of collaboration and innovation. Reality check. None of that existed when we were working full-time in the office. All that to say, you've got the upper hand here. Remember, you don't have to accept their offer. And I know your lawyer brain is likely chiming in right now, saying something like, but if I ask for exactly what I want, there's no way that they'll give it to me. Maybe, but that's on them. Because listen, if you negotiate in good faith, meaning you're willing to compromise here and there where it makes sense, then you can confidently walk away when the employer is unwilling to budge. Remember, they're lucky to have you, always, but especially right now. And you will not be the only one walking away from less than ideal circumstances. And my biggest hope in all of this is that as lawyers continue to insist on more humane work conditions, that little by little, our dysfunctional legal industry is going to change for the better. So if you're ready to go out and find a better job that's offering the kinds of work arrangements that are better aligned with your values and priorities, I want you to check out my masterclass. It's free, and it's called 3 Simple Strategies for Uncovering Any Lawyer's Transferable Skills. And it's going to help you identify the skills you already have and learn how to communicate the value of those skills to any employer. And I've linked to the masterclass in the description below. And now that you see that you've got the leverage to negotiate a profitable and humane work arrangement, that's just one less hurdle between you and your ideal job.